has a strange way of keeping balance. People think they can waste your time, play with your emotions, and walk away like nothing happened. They smile, they post, they pretend. But Stoicism teaches us something deeper. Life doesn't leave debts unpaid. It collects not with noise but in silence. This video isn't about revenge. It's not about hoping bad things happen to the people who wronged you. It's about truth. And truth, like karma, never needs a shout. It arrives quietly, when the lights go off, when the phone stops ringing, when all that's left is them, and the echo of what they did to you. Here are the silent signs that someone is already receiving their karma. The Stoic way. Sign 1. They keep showing off that they're thriving. At first glance, they look unbothered. The person who wasted your time, who treated your presence like a convenience, is suddenly glowing online, posting selfies, sharing wins, captioning quotes about new beginnings, and choosing peace. And if you're not grounded, you might actually believe it. You might think, maybe they really are happier without me. But Epictetus warned us long ago, people are frugal in guarding their property, but when it comes to wasting time, they are most extravagant. They didn't lose money. They lost time. They lost you. And nothing stings more than realizing the most valuable thing they had is the thing they took for granted. The Stoics knew happiness doesn't need proof. But guilt begs for attention. They don't post for peace. They post for validation. They need the world to believe they're okay, because deep down, they're not. Behind every over-edited photo and forced smile is a silent battle they're losing. Karma doesn't need thunder. It whispers. And in those quiet moments between their posts, it speaks the loudest. You wasted something irreplaceable. And now you're pretending it never mattered. Let them pretend. Let them #healing. Because while they put on a show, life is already setting the stage for consequences. Sign 2. They start losing what they thought they'd always have. You didn't have to lift a finger. Life started subtracting. First, it's small. A friend stops calling. A promotion slips away. The people who once laughed at your expense now avoid eye contact. They think it's coincidence. Bad luck. A rough patch. But the Stoics knew nothing random happens to the one who watches. Seneca wrote, time discovers truth. And truth, especially when ignored, turns to erosion. One by one, the things they held carelessly begin to disappear. Not dramatically, not suddenly, but slowly, like sand slipping through fingers that never bother to close. This is karma's method. Not chaos, precision. Not punishment, reflection. They're not losing because life is cruel. They're losing because they misuse what they had, including you. You gave your presence, your attention, your patience. You stayed up comforting them, believing in their potential even when they didn't. And how did they repay it? They laughed. They called you clingy, too sensitive, too much. But Stoicism teaches us, you are not your emotions, but you are responsible for how you guard your peace. So you walked away, not with anger, but clarity. And now, they're sitting in the quiet, not just missing you, but missing how life used to feel when you were still in it. Karma isn't just about losing things. It's about realizing what you lost and knowing you'll never get it back the same way again. Sign 3. They talk around you, but can't stop thinking about you. They'll never say your name. Not directly, not publicly, but every quote they post, every caption about loyalty and fake people, it has your fingerprint on it. You know it. You see through it. That's not growth. That's guilt in disguise. The Stoics never taught us to chase apologies. Epictetus said, if someone speaks ill of you, live in such a way that no one will believe it. And when someone's conscience is unsettled, they speak in circles. They write paragraphs no one asked for. They post hints hoping you'll read between the lines. But Stoics don't respond with hints. They respond with silence. Silence is an absence. It's power. Let them post. Let them throw words into the void, hoping you'll catch one. That's not strength, it's obsession. Karma isn't about people paying in public. It's about watching them carry your memory like a shadow they can't drop. They remember your calm, your care, your ability to hold them without asking for anything in return. And now that you're gone, they don't just miss you. They miss who they were when they had you. Let them talk. You've already moved on. Sign 4. They've stopped trusting anyone, even themselves. You used to watch them laugh freely, trust quickly, share openly, but not anymore. Now, they scan every conversation for betrayal. They question every compliment. They build walls and call it healing. But what they're really doing is hiding from themselves, because deep down they know what they did. And when you betray someone good, Stoicism teaches that you don't just lose that person, you lose the version of yourself that trusted you were still worthy of love. Seneca said, "He who does wrong rarely trusts anyone else, because he knows what he is capable of." That's the punishment. Not fire, not lightning, but slow rot, the erosion of peace, of self-respect, of safety within their own mind. Now they assume everyone has a hidden motive. They think kindness is a trap. They believe affection must come at a cost, because that's how they used to treat you. That's karma. It's not loud. It's a whisper that never stops asking, "What if I'm a problem?" You don't need to wish them pain. Life already gave them something worse. Permanent doubt. Let them live with that. You've already chosen peace. Sign 5. They finally meet themselves in someone else. They think they've met their match. At first, this new person feels perfect, magnetic, exciting, intense. But it's not love. It's a mirror. And karma made sure it reflects exactly who they once were. Now, they know what it feels like to be left on read, to beg for connection, to open up only to be met with silence. They're dating someone who treats them the way they treated you. One day hot, the next cold, confusing, dismissive, distant. They laugh a little less now, sleep a little worse, question their worth a little more, and slowly, painfully, a realization creeps in. I did this to someone. Maybe they'll never say it out loud. Maybe they'll push it away. But karma doesn't need their confession. It's already done its job. Stoicism doesn't celebrate their downfall. It observes it, because Marcus Aurelius reminded us, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Let them live with their reflection. Let them chase someone who teaches them every painful lesson they ignored when you try to love them gently. That's not cruelty. That's balance. Sign 6. They start chasing things that can't fill the void. At first, it looks like ambition. They throw themselves into projects, new goals, new friends, a packed schedule. They're busy healing. They say, but the Stoics would call it what it really is, escape. Because when you waste something meaningful, you don't sit still with that pain. You run. You try to fill the silence with noise, with distractions, with things that glitter but don't shine. Marcus Aurelius said, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. They're not chasing success. They're chasing silence, trying to drown out the inner voice that whispers you lost something real. You can see it now. They move from person to person, from hobby to hobby, from place to place, never landing, never grounded. They mistake movement for growth and accomplishments for healing. But karma isn't fooled, because peace doesn't need motion. It needs stillness. And Stoics don't run. They reflect. Let them chase everything they think will make them feel whole. Let them keep sprinting towards something that doesn't exist. Because no matter how far they run, their conscience is faster. And it always catches up alone in the quiet when they realize, I had everything, and I let it go. Sign 7. They get everything they thought they wanted and still feel empty. This one's the hardest to see, and the hardest to admit. They finally get the job, the house, the recognition. They're surrounded by all the things they used to dream of. But look into their eyes and you'll see it. That quiet question. Why does it feel like enough? Stoicism teaches that true contentment comes from within. Epictetus said, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. But they thought happiness was something to be achieved, to be earned, to be posted. They thought losing you wouldn't matter if they won the world. But now they know they were wrong, because none of it talks back when they need someone to understand. None of it stays up at 2 a.m. when their mind won't stop racing. None of it sees them, the real them, the way you did. Karma doesn't always take things away. Sometimes it gives you everything and lets you feel nothing. They smile in public, but they crumble in private. And the scariest part of all, they can't even explain it. Because how do you tell the world that you have everything and still feel lost? That's karma too, the kind that doesn't break your life. Just your illusion of what you thought life was supposed to feel like. Let them have it all. Because the Stoics knew, what good is the world if you lose your soul trying to get it? You see, karma doesn't scream. It whispers through the cracks. It subtracts quietly. It replaces your presence with absence and lets life do what it always does. Restore balance. You don't need to announce your healing. You don't need to clap back. You don't need to look back at all. Because Stoicism taught you what they refuse to learn. Real power doesn't perform. It just exists. And when life finally introduces them to the consequences of who they've been, you'll be long gone. Wrapped in peace, they'll never be able to fake again. Let them feel it. Let life teach them. Let silence speak. That's karma. That's Stoicism. Sometimes the people who hurt you never get exposed. Sometimes they don't apologize. They move on. They smile. They thrive. Or at least, that's what it looks like. But don't confuse silence for injustice. Because karma isn't a show. It's a mirror. And when the world goes quiet, it reflects everything they've been running from. You didn't lose. You released. You didn't break. You became unshakable. And if you're still healing, still rebuilding, still wondering if it was worth it, let this be your reminder. Your peace is proof that you won. They may never admit it. They may never look back. But Stoicism teaches us your silence, your discipline, your calm, that's your closure. That's your power. Let life take care of what you couldn't fix. Let time reveal what you no longer need to understand. And let your soul keep rising without noise, without revenge, without looking back. Because your life is still unfolding. And what's coming next doesn't require their apology. It only needs your strength. Take a breath. Trust the process. Protect your peace. And remember, the most powerful thing you can ever do is keep going. Until next time, stay grounded, stay kind, and keep rising. We'll see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.